It's Steelers 365, weekdays here on TribLIVE Radio, all brought to you by Mr. Magic Car Wash. 5 convenient locations in Western PA to serve you. Banksville Road in Pittsburgh, Upper St. Clair, Castle Shannon, Bridgeville, and Brentwood. Online at MrMagicCarWash.com. Your car's going to be filthy within the matter of weeks, guys, so just keep that in mind.
My old stomping grounds, too, all those places.
You still welcome back there in the greater Baldwin area?
I don't know. I'd have to ask, but I'd be welcome at Mr. Magic. My dad and I used to go there all the time.
The Colts will be welcomed to Heinz Field coming up in a afternoon game. Nance and Sims, sort of prime-time-ish, although the Steelers have had more primetime night games here recent, but certainly a prime spot of the schedule guy. After this 3-game homestand, they'll go on the road for 4 out of 5. What's the importance looking ahead here to the Colts game, win or lose? Not a must-win, right? You could certainly see them coming back out of this, but looking to put together a 2-game winning streak for the first time this year.
Yeah, and I think that's the important thing regardless of who they're playing, Ken. I mean, it's more, again, a 4-4 after 2 8-8s. It's win and lose. It's win 2, lose 1, lose 2, win 1, 6-6. It's just, and the players, it's getting under the players' skin. I was surprised because when we were talking to everybody after the game Monday night, about the win in the game and particularly the 3 minutes at the end of the half, they were the ones that kept bringing up the next game and the fact that they got to start putting some wins together. They can't keep doing this every other week thing. So it's one thing when we ask the questions and plant the seed and kind of, we didn't even think about it unless the media talked about it. So there are topics like that, but this isn't one of them. They were thinking about it already before the horn, had barely blown to end the game Monday night.
Yeah, and it's a team with Andrew Luck where they spread the football around quite a bit. 14 of their 19 touchdowns, I think, have gone to tight ends and running backs. So they have been effective at the areas where the Steelers have had some trouble defending. Good to get Ryan Shazier back this week. It looks like he'll play, and he was kind of as their first-round pick, their anti-tight end weapon. Do you think they can shut the best quarterback they've faced at this point, and can they shut and slow Andrew Luck down?
Oh, I mean, they've faced a series of average or below-average quarterbacks other than Joe Flacco so far, Ken, and they've already had their share of trouble. And I think asking Shazier to step in and play after all this time off in what is already a rookie year against an offense like this and expect him to be the reason that they shut them down and turn around is asking an awful lot of the kid. I would hope he would help. I look at this game not so much as, I would think this is a bit of a mismatch at any point in the season, even when the Steelers' defense was healthy early because it's a good offense. I look at the Colts as a team that has surprised me in how well they've played. Who they have on defense? I mean, it's not like it's a team loaded with Pro Bowl guys or people that It's kind of a...
Right, Corey Redding.
It's a no-name defense. That's a good nickname. I just made it up. But, I mean, that's it kind of... But they've been very effective, and that, to me, is the surprising part. You kind of... I looked at this game earlier in the year and think, this could be a shootout. This could be can the Steelers' offense keep up with the Colts offense, but now you worry that the Colts are the complete 5-2. The only team with a better record is Dallas. Well, Denver before they play tonight. But
even Snoop Dogg gave Todd Haley some credit this week, so maybe the silver lining in the cloud is becoming visible. But Haley's going to have a tough job this week with that defense in the standpoint of teams are going to start to take Antonio Brown. They already have away. Double team him quite a bit, and Le'Veon Bell has been their second best, arguably. They're 1A and they're 1B. Can they continue to develop Martavis Bryant or Hayward Bay or get Wheaton back into the offense? What's your confidence that they can be more than a two-trick pony against this Colts defense, which has been good?
And I throw Justin Brown in that mix too, Ken. They've all had a little bit of a piece of the pie as this season's gone on. I think if just one of those guys stepped up and became another, you're not going to be what Antonio Brown is. He's one of them. John thinks he's the best pass catcher the Steelers have ever had, or one of. But someone else to step up and be a guy who is just consistent. Justin Brown's had some trouble hanging on to the ball. Hayward Bay has in his career. They haven't given him much of a chance. Marcus Wheaton that one game didn't seem like he studied his playbook at all that week. So if just one of those guys could step up and be a solid, consistent go-to guy after Heath Miller, after Antonio Brown, after Le'Veon Bell. I think one of them can be a serious weapon.
It's almost like they miss Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, I never thought I would say that.
Right.
And you've seen the headlines that old Steeler Nate Washington's being shopped on the trade market. Would you consider going that route?
I haven't watched him game in and game out to make that thing, but I'll make a general statement about sports, period. Often stars are allowed to shine because of the secondary players. I've used the example when the Penguins of the early 90s started to fall apart. they still had Kevin Stevens and Paul Coffey and Mario Lemieux and Tom Barrett, but it was when the Borks and the Loneys and the Eries left, and I'll throw Emmanuel Sanders in that mix too. You can't have that huge of a drop-off from you. A lot of NFL teams will have a marquee guy that everybody knows. You want his football card. You want him on your fantasy team. Beyond that, they're not any good. You need that second line. They don't have to be stars, but a second line of productive players, and I don't think that's what the Steelers have with this group of receivers we talked about right now.
Key game this week, Steelers and the Colts at Heinz Field. We'll be talking about it here all week at TribLIVE.com.